It's recording. It smells.
It smells? What does it smell like?
I don't know. Some fruity.
It's vanilla.
I don't know if it smells like vanilla.
Really?
Alright, you can bombs away.
Alright, man. So, I have a question first.
Okay.
Did you already put out the podcast?
Only on Patreon.
Oh, okay.
It's exclusive.
Is Monica one of them?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, huh. I didn't even know you put out the podcast yet.
I drop it tomorrow.
That's cool. That's cool. Dope.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude. I'm so different from when I did that podcast.
I know, and you haven't heard it yet, right?
No, I heard like the little bit that you put on like your story,
Oh, okay.
and then I didn't even recognize my voice. I was like, is that really how I sound like? Wow,
Yo,
I sound pretty cool. I'm just kidding.
you sound different, dude.
Yeah, just like my thoughts about everything that we talked about. It's just like mostly for the most part different than how I view it now. Like I had such like an aggressive tone when we did that podcast. It was like, but I'm fine. I'm fine. Bertha is fine, and I'm fine, and everything's fine. Now it's like it's different, but yeah, I was just curious. Yeah, so like earlier, we touched upon a little thing about when people pull the "but we're family, but we're blood" card, and how annoying that is.
He said that.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but it's the truth. Like, if you pull that card, to me, like you're gonna get disappointed. I'm sorry. And I just think it's a very annoying card to pull because honestly, wait, are we allowed to swear on this?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Okay. Because honestly, I do not give a single fuck if we're blood.
He said single.
Single.
Damn. That's heavy.
And it's like, so this goes back to, I guess, a major thing that happened. I told you about it a little bit, was that a little while ago, I pretty much shit on my sister's life. And then it turned into her reaching out to my cousins for help. And then they devised a plan to get us all together. And then it turned into like a, what do you call those? I was gonna say interrogation, but it's not interrogation. Intervention, that's what it was. It turned into an intervention. And I knew it was gonna happen. Like, everything about this whole situation was just so predictable. It was just really it was funny. It was funny, if anything. 'Cause when I shit on her life, well, first of all, I shit on her life about certain aspects. The aspects I shit on her about was, I believe it was like school, her job, her friends, her boyfriend, stuff like that. And then I just knew that the intervention was coming because, one, you know Gino, right? Gino contacted me like maybe a day or two after the incident, and then he was like, "Oh, let's hang out, blah blah blah." I was like, "Okay, something's up." Like right away, I was like, "All right, something's up." And then, but I was like, maybe he does just want to hang out. And then he was like, yeah, this time. And I was like, oh, I have rehearsal. Okay. And he was like, but we're blood. And I was like, okay, now I know what's up. Because, like, that was, like, one of the things that I shit on my sister about was that even blood family, like, I forget what I said exactly.
We're live on Facebook, too.
Okay, cool. And then, so when he pulled the "but we're blood, we're family" card, that's when I knew. I was like, okay. And there was just so much evidence to back it up. And my sister like screenshotting like the things I said. And my sister's not the type of person to just screenshot shit for the hell of it. So I was like, okay, she's screenshotting these for a reason. And then when he texted me, but we're family, but we're blood, like, come on, ditch rehearsal to come hang out with me. And I was like, okay, obviously you know. So, and then the cousin group chat, we have a group chat with everybody, including my sister's boyfriend, Petra, and Casey, because, you know, they're considered family now. And then they were planning on hanging out and then, like, trying to plan it out, what day, what time, all this. And then I was like, you know how it's, like, for me personally, it's, like, easier for everybody to put down when they're available, and then for me to adjust my schedule to them. So I was just, like, chilling, waiting for everybody to, like, finalize the plan, and then I was going to be like, all right, dope. Like, I can adjust to that. And then, but as they were, like, talking about it, everybody, my sister comments, oh, wait, we have to check if Justin's available. And I was like, okay, something's up.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, you wouldn't just say something like that in this group chat. So I was like, oh, okay, my sister's going out of her way with everybody to check if I'm available.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh.
Which is interesting.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, something's definitely up. And then when we get to the house and we get inside and we're sitting in the living room, that's when, like, the bomb drops. It's like, okay, so we came here today for blah, 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 Justin shitting on your sister's life, this, that. And I was like, makes so much sense. I saw it from the get. I was like, okay. And then, by the way, anybody who's just joining in, this is pretty much about if you've ever had a moment in your life where family members pull the "but I'm your family" card, I'm blood card, like, prioritize me because I'm related to you card, and how annoying that can get. And it's not like I don't love them. Like, I love them. It's just don't pull that card on me because you're holding some type of expectation to me, and, like, you're gonna get disappointed if you hold anything over me because I will not meet it because I'm living my best damn life and I do not give a crap about who I lose on the way. Yeah, I could care less if I lose him on the way either. And he knows that. He understands that. So the intervention starts, and I'm not trying to, like, you know, put them on blast on, like, the stream. I'm just trying to express how I feel about the whole card of, wear blood card type of shit. So they express verbally that, oh, we're not here to grill you or to, like, interrogate you or whatever. And I was like, sure. Sure, if you say so. Because I already knew. Like, that's the thing. The whole intervention was just so predictable. And it was just annoying because, like, I knew that if I said certain things, it would trigger them to respond with a certain sentence or something. And then I knew that was going to happen. And I knew any point that I was going to try to make was just not going to be valid. So I was like, all right. So I was just like, anything they said, I was like, okay, yeah, I understand. No, it's okay. No, it's okay. It's okay. I feel you. It's fine. But in reality, I'm like, wow. And although they said like, oh, we ain't trying to be one-sided, but it was very one-sided. Extremely. And it's like, a lot of it was, you know, like, because I was like wicked angry at my sister because she keeps like low-key throwing shade at, you know, me in the car and
I see.
all that, and using the car a lot. And like, after the intervention, like, we got better about it, but it was still annoying in the moment. And then my cousin said, Gino said, like, you know, like, when you're super angry, you just like start yelling things that you don't really mean, and then and then
Flashbacks.
yeah, and then he was like, you didn't really mean that, did you? And I was like, no, I meant it. I meant every single word of it. Mm-hmm. And then everybody was like, really? I'm like, yeah. And I was like, you know why? Because like, I live with her and I've bottled this up for so long, and I've watched her for the past several years. Mm-hmm. So it's not like I'm pulling this shit out of my ass. Like, I've been watching how she socializes. I've been watching her relationship with her boyfriend develop. Like, obviously, I'm not just screaming things that I don't mean. Mm-hmm. It's something I've been dwelling on, so I mean it. And yes, it was a burst of outrage and anger to get her off my back. Mm-hmm. But I was just like, nope, I still mean it. And then they asked me to apologize, and I was like, nope, sorry, I can't. I still mean it. They're like, damn, you are an asshole. I'm like, yeah, I am.
Damn. That's nuts.
And like some of the things that I knew that if I said, it would just make the situation worse. Mm-hmm. Was one of them was the tally mark game. So one of them responded like, oh, do you know how many times like you've left your sister stranded and I had to go pick her up? And then I responded, do you know how many times they didn't even let me finish. They're like, whoa, this isn't a tally mark game. But I was like, he literally just said, do you know how many times I've stranded her? Yeah. And I'm like, what do you mean it's not a tally mark? How come he gets to use that reasoning, but I can't? You didn't even let me finish my sentence. Yeah. And then, like, the sentence I was going to finish was, like, do you know how many times I've had to, like, travel from mad far, from mad distances, and mad inconvenient times to come pick her up? And it's like, again, we're fine now. Also, we have our own cars, so that too. I'm looking down here as if it's, like, the thing. There's like a camera down here and there's one up here. I'm like, yeah. So that, and they don't think that I'm putting much effort into the cousin time relationship, which is because I got shit to do.
It's very simple.
Yeah. And it's like, I posted this on my stories recently, and it was along the lines of, I don't need to have a large quantity of time to define my relationship with you or a group of people. What I need is quality time with a group of people or an individual.
I guess I talk louder.
Me?
Apparently.
Interesting, because I'm talking mad loud. So, and like, it's not even that we hang out that much. We hang out like maybe like once a month. But even that, I don't feel it necessary to keep our relationship, our bond alive, you know? Mm-hmm. And it's not like, I'm gonna be straight up, I don't miss people. And I'm not even just talking about like my cousins or anything. I don't miss anybody, like even that guy, because I just got shit to do. Like I'm focused, and I'm like I have goals, and like I have to take certain steps to accomplish those goals. And like the only time when I miss people is when I dwell on memories, and when I see them in real life, and I remember the energy they give off, and the feeling that they give me. Those are the only two ways that I miss people. And when I'm focused on things, I don't usually dwell on memories. So yeah, I just don't miss people. And a lot of people confuse that with like, oh, I'm only important to them when it's convenient for them or something like that. And I'm just like, no, that's stupid. And on the story, I expressed that, like, you know, when the universe decides for the time that we come back together, like, that's when it'll happen. Like, I ain't trying to force anything, you know? And it's just like, people only appreciate the presence of people. That's the thing. And, like, they don't appreciate the absence of people.
That's true. That's very true. I had to think about that for a second. Yep.
And it's like stupid because that's when I think the whole like, oh, I'm only available when it's convenient. I think that type of mentality only becomes a thing because you only appreciate their presence. If you appreciate someone's presence and absence, then that mentality shouldn't exist. So, if you're not in my life, I appreciate you. If you are in my life, I appreciate you. And it's just like any time before the intervention, during the intervention, and after the intervention, I found that there was a pattern in like the way I am around them. And it's that I don't feel vibrant, I guess. I feel like I can't vibrate with them at a high frequency, and that I don't know that I'm supposed to be involved with them in that type of way. Because, like, anytime I am with them, I'm very, very small, I guess. Very small, very isolated, very quiet.
Stop.
Oh.
Fuck. What's happening? Oh, no, it's just me. Okay.
Okay. Very small, isolated, very quiet, and, like, to myself and stuff. And I think it's, like, because personally, all I hear the group talking about is like, oh, bills this, bills that, payments this, payments that. Oh, how do we make more money? Oh, 401k, whatever the fuck that means. Yeah. I don't know what that means.
That's a retirement fund that most corporate jobs have for you. So like you get, you know how we have no benefits, by the way, as contractors.
Oh, dope.
So then as an employee, they get benefits of like, oh, you get some insurance or something, percentage, like you get more saved, like you get, like, if you work there, you're getting your money, but then some money goes into a retirement account automatically. But if the company goes under, so does your money. Yeah. So that's, they're trying to work until they get a 401k. So it's like, okay, I retire or whatever, and then I have $401,000 to live off of.
And it just, like, the conversation, if I can compare the conversation to anything, it's literally like employee to employee type of, like, nice weather we're having. Catch you tomorrow. How's the sales going, man? Like, it's like, it feels like that, and it just feels so weird, and it's very uncomfortable, and it's like I don't even know, like, I know, like, people, especially like in my family, when they view me and how much I've changed in like the past 4 to 5 years, they blame it on you.
Yup.
They blame it on you and they blame it on Jeff. And I guess like rightfully so, because you and Jeff were a big portion of that, because one, you're the CEO of Stratford Change Lifestyle, and the other is Jeff is the director / founder, co-founder, whatever, of the Expressive Movement, and those two groups is literally what changed my life forever. So I guess rightfully so, they blame you guys, but you know, it got to a certain point where it's like there's a lot of things that I don't give a fuck about that you talk about.
Yeah.
And like there's wisdom, advice, mentality, logic that I don't necessarily agree with 100% from you, and from definitely from Jeff too. And it's just, I don't feel like they believe me. They still think that like I take everything you say, and like definitely at first, like I was totally tunnel vision. I admit it, like totally tunnel vision in the beginning. Like he was into like government conspiracy theories, and I was like right by him. I was like, yeah, Illuminati, aliens, yeah. But now at this stage in my life, like I can think for myself. Is pretty much what I'm trying to say. And it's just that I don't think they believe that. They still think that I'm like just taking and like applying everything that they say, spit into my life, and it's like affecting the family and whatnot. And I'm just like, no. If only you knew. And yeah, I don't know what point I'm trying to make. This is very scattered, but it's okay.
It's all good.
It's all good. We out here living our best life.
Hey, free thought. Yeah, dude.
And it's like,
Exactly.
what?
No, it's just there's a lot going on Twitch.
Oh, you blossom into a beautiful butterfly.
That's when I realized that, I was so happy.
Huh?
When I realized that.
When you
When you started to like have your own thought.
Uh,
Trust me, like it's great when someone's like, yeah, but then it's like, at some point, I hope you figure it out for yourself.
yeah,
You know
for
what I
sure.
mean?
Yeah, definitely. And it's like, and it's like people ask me like what I'm trying to like pursue in life, like what's your goal, like what's your career, what's your passion, what's this, and then before I would just like, oh, dance, that's it, like, oh, I'm pursuing dance as a career, and like I've reached the point where it's like it's not even that anymore. Like I'm pretty sure like during the podcast, like I said I was pursuing dance, but or maybe not.
I don't think you talked about it, to be honest.
Yeah, but it's not even like that anymore. When people ask me that question, I kind of pause. I'm like, what am I doing? And then I'm like, oh shit. And then I realize it, and then I respond to that question. I'm like, honestly, my career is trying to become the best version of myself. Like that's what I say all the time now. I'm like, oh, what are you pursuing? I'm living my best life, bro. Cause like there's just so much that I want to do, and it's like I don't want to be defined as just dance.
Yep.
You know,
Uh-huh.
like there's just so many things out there that I find so interesting, and I want to like dive into and like get good at, and like rapping, singing, dancing, modeling, acting, stunt work, parkour. It's like calisthenics. And it's like this happened like within the year. Like this, like I didn't realize that I wanted to do all these things, and like I didn't want it to be defined by just the word dance in this year. And out of all the things I've listed, I've already touched.
Which is a good feeling.
Yeah, and it's like people dwell on acting on these things because they're too worried about other things. And like I understand, okay, bills, all this, bills, gotta pay it, gotta put food on the table, all this, all that. Yes, okay, I get it. But like you have to put time aside to work on your passions or interests that you have. And if you're not even willing to do that because you're like, oh, I need sleep. It's like there needs to be a balance. Balance is so important, but yet it's so hard to find.
Oh yeah, my bad. I was chasing that shit for days. Every day,
trying to find that balance. That balance getting away from me. We're gonna track it down.
Once you find it, you gotta maintain it.
Yeah, and that's like just as hard too, maintaining it. And it's like I'm sure I have like short-term memory loss. And a lot of the things that I want to dive into is a craft that you need to practice and is like a solo independent type of thing where it's like you're not gonna make money like until like after you're like hit a certain point.
Yeah.
So it's like even when like my parents or like my uncles and aunts bother me, they're like, "Oh, what do you do for work?" And like so far it's like teaching dance gigs,
yeah,
and like Grubhub and DoorDash.
Yeah.
And that's it. Because like even like within dance, how I started, like I had to get to a certain point where I felt comfortable enough to like teach or assist to like start earning some type of like income. And it's the same process, if not like longer. With like if not even longer with like the other things I'm trying to get into. So it's like, oh, how's like the money situation going? I'm like, I'm still in the same spot, but if you're gonna ask me how's the work going,
right,
then I'm gonna be
it's
like,
different.
oh, I spend all day every day. Yeah, my parents go to work for like 8 hours a day, 8-hour shift, 12-hour shift, and then they come home. Mine's a 24-hour shift.
Yeah, I feel that.
Okay, maybe not 24 hours.
The work just doesn't stop.
The work doesn't stop. And it's like what you consider work and what you considered paid work is different. Like my work, I'm training. I'm trying to get better at the crafts I'm doing so that I can make a thing for myself. You know? And it's just hard to try to get Asian parents to understand that. And yeah. And I feel like with my cousins, they like they express like, oh, your time is just as valuable as my time, vice versa. And it's like, I agree. But the thing is, like, I feel like you guys, they think that I could just reschedule a rehearsal or just cancel a rehearsal because I want to hang out. No.
Oh my gosh.
No, it's hard enough to get everybody in the same location to practice and learn and train for 2.5, 3 hours. Never mind like trying to reschedule it where everybody can be there. And it's like, it's different because like you guys are like, we're a team and I consider us like a second family. And again, don't pull the blood card. We fam card, like, nah, fuck you. But thing is, when you're at like a restaurant and you're on your shift and someone doesn't show up, it's like, oh, okay. Like, oh, we're gonna have to like take on extra load of work to make up for this person that's missing their shift. Or like whatever, and like there's a rush and then everything gets screwed up and then it's just hard. But with us, if someone's not there, they're not fucking there. We can't dance for two people. We can't be in two spots at the same time. So we are literally responsible for each other. And that is a huge thing that I think non-dancers don't understand about us.
Yeah.
And it's like they just totally don't take that into consideration. And they're like, yeah, no, if like 2 or 3 people, if you cancel rehearsal or whatever, it's fine. You gotta hang out with the fan. Like, no. No.
I think it's just people not understanding just how serious it is. I think if they understand that, because like, say it's like they understand that it's your livelihood,
Yeah.
then sure. But because they don't, then it's like, oh, dancing is a hobby thing. Like,
Right.
so who cares if...
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand.
And like another thing, this was probably like, okay, so this is like the biggest thing that's like bothering me. And I don't even know if I actually didn't tell you this at the soul session earlier. The soul session, happening like every so and so, because I don't know the schedule, but you should go to it. Plug.
Yup.
So the biggest thing that is currently bothering me with this whole family card, we're blood card type of situation is that, what the hell was I gonna say?
The biggest thing that's bothering you.
The biggest thing that's bothering me has literally left my head in that split second.
Like, you should know.
What was it? It was, oh, okay, wait, no, that wasn't right. It is, oh, okay. So, from time to time, I have strangers, acquaintances, friends, family members of those friends, co-workers, employees, whatever you want to call them, and sometimes they like reach out to me and they like in person or like through text or a phone call, and they just express to me that like, man, like you've like changed my life forever. Like I appreciate like you so much, and I'm like so glad that I could like be on this earth at the same time as you. And like you offer so much to the world, and you're like so inspirational, and like blah 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 blah. You've changed my perspective on so many things. And like you're doing great, keep doing what you're doing. So there's not the left side. There's like one side of it, but then when it comes to my family on the other side, they say that my motto, live, love, inspire, forgive. Like I suck at it, and like I'm like a horrible example to it, and that I'm judgmental, I'm an asshole, I'm closed-minded.
I can see that.
Yeah, all these things, and like they can back it up, and I'm like, that's the thing. That is the thing. They can back it up. So I'm like, damn. And then I take a step back, and then I'm like, what am I doing? Like, like, am I doing something good? Mm-hmm. And it's just like, because again, like this side is like, oh my God, like, thank you, like, you saved my life type of stuff. And then the other side is like, you're an asshole, you're judgmental, you're closed-minded. And then I literally, after the intervention, they made me feel like I didn't deserve to wear my tattoos. And then, yeah, it made me feel pretty crappy. The whole sister situation, I don't feel crappy about that. It was the whole fact of like living by my creed, and that I wasn't, and that it made me feel shitty because I felt like I didn't deserve to wear my tattoos, which is the paper cranes on my chest, and the words on my ribcage that says, once everyone starts looking at each other as a brother or sister, human being, beauty will spread like wildfire. Hashtag to oh wonder. So when that happened, it just put me in a spot of a lot of self-doubt. And then I can see that. Yeah, and I was just like, damn, what the fuck? And then after being in the position of self-doubt, I stepped back. And then I thought about, the Instagram page we follow, the Higher Self one?
Yeah.
So It was really weird because they made a post about the family card, the we blood card. I was like,
Yeah.
wow, this is crazy.
Yeah.
This is so relevant to me right now.
Mm-hmm.
And it talked about that, and it was like pretty much expressing the same shit. Like, I don't give a fuck if we're blood.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I don't vibrate with you at a higher frequency, then I'm dropping you
Mm-hmm.
because you're not good for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, interesting. So it made me think, like, can I not vibrate with them at a higher frequency? Are they not meant to be in my life in that type of way? Or am I, like, I don't know, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's, like, the biggest thing that's, like, happening internally that has to do with, like, family stuff, or more so my cousins. But, yeah. Yeah, that was a lot.
No, it's okay. Everyone mostly followed.
Mostly.
Pretty active on Twitch and Facebook.
I didn't even read these things.
No. And you said that you're one of the people that like you affected her in a way that you had talked about, a good way.
Mm.
And she said who do I have to beat up, and I was like, his whole family.
Who do I have to
know
beat
about
up?
this
My whole family. My whole family. Go, you better you better get your own squad, because there's gonna be an Asian war going on.
And then Andy talked about he works with your dad, and just like small talk here and there.
Oh my god, you do! I totally forgot. Whoa, yeah, I totally forgot you work with my dad.
And then chat was broken, so I had to reset app. Oh, what I miss? Nothing really, to be honest. Like, nothing crazy happened. There's action on Facebook too, but yeah, you're either on Twitch or Facebook.
Yeah.
But Twitch is louder and more clear and better, which is why we stream primarily on there. I mean, what's dope about this process, and we touched on it, right? Like,
yeah,
at the soul sessions, and how that wall can exist. And so when they have that perspective of you being an asshole and stuff, I was like, I see it 100%. You being closed-minded, yep, I see that too. It's just like, if you can put yourself in their position with, you could assume what runs through their mind when they see you. It's like, oh wow, like, he has no respect for the family. He's not working. He's not grateful. He's kind of just chasing some whatever, and he's not willing to drop something for family, even though we're always there for him. Like, so when you look at legacy, so when you look at the reality of stuff, like, this is where, like, maturity and a different perspective comes in of, like, I think there's stages to it.
Yeah,
so where you're at, I've been straight up, except I wasn't as brutal, and there wasn't as much confrontation. It was just silent.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like you feel it. You feel it from all of them. And then, like, because the thing is, the way that I'm affecting you, which is loud and clear, I was affecting their kids, like, low key.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
Crackle pop.
Right? So then when my name comes into the mix, everyone's like, and my mom would always be like, you know, just don't even bother, because, like, don't bother doing anything with their cousins and stuff. And then I'd get mad sometimes, you know. And also, it actually happened in my own household. So, like, with my brother,
Yeah.
and, like, my stepdad, he wouldn't be allowed to go places with me because of all of my stuff that I do.
Wow.
So then I get upset. My brother's kind of just stuck at home, and he got upset about stuff like, oh, like, I'm doing a show, like, you trying to come through? So, yes. And then, like, either no, or, like, all these dumb excuses, and then we would know it's excuses, and oh, dude, some brutal stuff. But so the stages thing. So, like, yeah. So I was at. I guess I'll jump to the new mentality after. So yeah, I was in a place where I felt all that, but I was quick to understand right from the get that, like, it's not about blood. I could still appreciate what they've done. I'll never forget that. But I remember the quote. People won't remember blah 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 blah, but they'll remember how you make them feel, or how they made you feel. Yeah. Right? Because that's what you remember the most. Like, yeah. How does someone make you feel? And I was like, what is my family making me feel? And I was like, sure, they provide, and, like, they're doing so many things that my friends can't do for me. Right?
Agreed.
Basic survival stuff. So it's like, there's appreciation there. But in terms of, like, energy and stuff, like, you're judging everything, and there's just this weird tension. And I think it's dumb, and they don't realize that I'm trying to bring some truth to the table, even at the age when I was really young and I already saw it. I was like, your kids are gonna go in a downward spiral if you don't help. Essentially, they don't have a good connection with their kids. And there was this huge intervention with all of us. It was so cool. We had it at this house with a lot of adults and a lot of the kids, and I was in the middle because I was like, I understand the kids and the adults.
Yeah.
It was so good
because
the adults would shove words and all these different things into the kids' mouths of like, oh, like, you know, you're young, like you don't have any problem, right?
Yo.
And then these kids are like, you can't just da-da-da-da-da. It's like you're not you know, living in this day and time and da-da-da. But then they're like, well, you didn't grow up in, you know, Cambodia and this and that. And I'm like, listen, we're all from different times here, but like you guys can't say that. It's like everyone grows up with different struggles, and it comes down to like your parenting style. If they're like this, it's because you nurture them too much and you try to force them to be stuff that you wish you would be, and all this kind of stuff, right? So I'm in the middle, like just trying to sort it out and create that bridge and like comfort and talk. And like it was revealed that like Audrey was like afraid to talk to her dad, but was more comfortable with her mom. And then Puchet was like, what? Like he was like, why can't you talk to me? Or like, why da.
Right. She
couldn't even like really bring out the words.
Right.
It was just little things like that, and I don't have to talk too much about my family, but that was just a cool time. But so I stayed. So when I joined EM, that was like the biggest for me, because I left my group eventually after one. I was balancing both teams, and eventually I left my group, and I was like, oh, that environment's just not good for me. And I was aware that like even at that age, I was like, I know that I play a huge role because I'm running it, and so in this group, I wasn't running anything. I was just a dancer, and it was nice. It says you can probably invest in clip-on mics or something. All right, my guy, look, we have this and this, but the thing is that I only have one PC, and I can't double stream at the moment. I've done it before, but I need two PCs, and I can't use this application because I need like a pro account, and I'm not willing to invest yet. So if you want some good audio, twitch.tv/Vatana_Thatch. Yeah, but I feel you, Andy. When I go off on like a thing, I'm going off on a thing, right? Yeah, so I was just mean like when I talk, like I don't really look at chat because I really need to be in like my thought. So joining EM, and you probably heard the story once, made me feel all different feelings that I didn't know were like existed, from acceptance to encouragement to lots of affection, overcoming insecurities and not being ashamed of the inner child. So all those things that I was able to get in this group, I recognized very quickly that I had never got that anywhere else. And so there was an auto gravitation of like, oh yeah, I really enjoy this. And then when there was a family function, it was literally at my house, and we were here, and I was just kind of hyper aware of what was going on. And I was like, no one's really connecting here. It's like, it's not fun. People are just either talking crap or having small talk or like looking at their phones, or there's just nothing happening. And so I was done. It did not take me that long to figure it out. It took me like 10-15 minutes of just coming here and being like, that's it, it's over. I'm like, it's done. I'm not about it. Yeah. And then I just, blinders on, didn't give a crap about talking to anybody about anything ever, because I was just in my zone. And then I don't know how long that was for. It felt like definitely over a year that I was that way. I didn't have to project that energy or defend myself because no one was coming at me, and I wasn't I was the same person. The only difference was I was more serious about what I was doing, and I was more happy. I was just around way less. Every time there was a function, I was like, don't care. I have rehearsal. It was on the weekends. Yeah, right? So I was like, I don't care. I have rehearsal. Like, we have a show, and I don't care. And it wasn't until... So this is like the next stage, and I feel like you're going to get to that place, assuming you are who you are now. And we walk like a similar path in the sense of like wanting to be better. what happened? I think it was Tony and spirituality at that time. It's like I don't know where your mindset was at that time.
Yeah.
The Friend Life app.
Yeah.
Okay, that was a huge. Y'all don't even understand. That was a huge factor. Live streaming that time. That was a huge one for me. And then realizing that I don't feel like a personal connection to people, but people felt a connection to me. I was just someone who was positive and could give positive energy and drive, but like I didn't feel a relation to anybody. But basically, when I started to hear people's origin stories, and saw that people weren't their jobs or this and that, and everyone's kind of like busted, that's when I started to be patient with myself too, and realized that. So you see, like for example, in those situations, they're kind of coming at your life. They're just throwing a bunch of conditioned thoughts. That's how I see it. So I'm not even looking at that. I'm like when you say, oh, you're an asshole and you have a closed mindset. What you're actually saying, like I don't see that. I see the reverse of like, no, that's coming from. Just because I'm choosing not to opt into what you believe in because of where it's grounded and rooted from, it makes me an asshole. When I could do the whole flip and say, you're not open-minded. You know what I mean? You don't do that, and you don't have to. But just knowing that it comes from a place of pain and from a place that's not authentic to them, and the fact that they can't respect your character and all these different things, it just shows that they have a long way to go. And so you can be like this. Oh, damn, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry that you feel that way, and I love you so much, but you got a long way to go, my friend. Like, damn, cousin. Like, that's where I'm at. Yeah. And so when you get there, dude, you no longer feel the shallow negativity, if you interpret it that way, bullshit coming through. You just see like, oh, it's coming from here. You're insecure about this. You're broken about this. You obviously went to school because you were told to go, and like you feel like I should go too because you believe in all the things that you were taught, but like I don't. And so now you're just projecting it onto me because you love me, but you only love me conditionally. But you're also kind of forced to love. Like you're like, okay, so if we weren't family, you wouldn't love me, right? Right. So like that, you could say stuff like that. And so, not that you have to, but. Yeah, I think you'll get there because of who you are, and I don't know when. Yeah. I think you're gonna be on this path for a while until you're just like the whole "you're greater than your environment." That's what you when you know, like they no longer penetrate, it's fucking over.
You're greater than your environment, and like I do admit, like even though like during the intervention, like I was sitting back and just biting my tongue and being like, okay, no, I understand. No, I feel you. Like. I can sense there was like a little bit of like cockiness type of vibe I was giving off, and I was like, I'm not trying to be like this god complex, and I understand everything that you're saying and where it's coming from, but like I don't know how to not give this off. And it's like even in the group chat, when John McCain passed, because I forgot what he had. He had like stage 3 cancer or something. Okay. And then everybody was like, "Rip," like, "Oh, if you like don't feel bad, that's fucked up." And then all I commented was, "Should have detoxed."
Should have detoxed.
Should have detoxed. That's all I said, and I knew that it would make my cousins feel some type of way because they are not about that. Holistic healing lifestyle. They are not about it. They don't believe in that
People
shit.
People need to get hip, bro.
They're like, what? No, fuck plants. Go to the doctor, and like they're just not about it. And it's like I understand, like y'all think we're some crazy ass hippie vegans or whatever, but like nah, there's like truth to it. And it's like I know people, and I know someone that's very close to me that literally was having a tumor because they were gonna have like a form of cancer, and then she was like, the doctor was like trying to give her like medicine for it, or like take this twice a day, every day, blah blah blah, and then she was like, "Fuck you, I'm gonna go over here, and then eat a bunch of fruits and plants and like go on this detox. Guess what happened to that motherfucking tumor? Gone. Within a month. Within a month, it was. I'm staring into this microphone like it's a camera. I'm like, month. It took a month. And I'm just like, that right there is proof. And I don't know why you're shutting it down. Are you shutting it down because it's a harder lifestyle?
Wait. T-Mobile's calling me.
Is that normal?
No. Just ruined my stream. Hello?
Hi, my name is Stormy from T-Mobile Order Verifications. Am I speaking with Batana Dash?
Yes, this is Vitana.
Hi, Batana. I was calling to verify. Did you place an order with T-Mobile?
On my account, and I'm aware that they did something. I wasn't sure what exactly, but they said they were gonna.
Can you tell me who you authorized?
Abby Malik or Abby. I'm not sure what it's under.
Perfect. You just authorized them to make a purchase. You're not sure what they're purchasing.
Yeah.
Perfect. I'll just notate that in your account. I just make sure that it's you making the or you authorizing the purchase and not someone else. Okay.
Mhm.
Perfect. Thank you so much. You have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. You too.
So yeah, there's like there's truth to that, and it's like I don't know why you guys are like hating so hard on it, because like it works, and it's like people get so offended when they're like asking for advice with like situations with like diseases and stuff, and I'm like, and I'm just like, yo, eat better, put the right stuff in your body, and detox, and they get so offended, they're like, how could you?
Yeah.
How could you offer such a thing? I'm like, it works. What do you mean? And it's like, so when I commented, should have detox, would have been gone within like 3 months. And then, because he's been fighting it for a while, John McCain, and then my cousin Gino commented, he's like, detoxing you think detoxing is gonna get rid of like stage 3 cancer? And I just left it there. I just left it there just to sit and sink, and then of course it got like brushed under the rug. What up, yeah? And then thingy-majiggy, I lost my train of thought.
We're talking about
detox. Yeah. So detox, and then like I'm in a certain spot in my life where I have to detox also. Like, not, well, I want to, but like where I'm at, like I'm forcing myself to, because I'm just in a spot that I can't speak about right now, but I just have to clean my body like ASAP, because it is vital. But yeah. And I have to do that ASAP. Grapes for days. The darker the better.
Yeah, that's like the go-to.
Just
eat a bunch of grapes.
And it's like, and it's not whack, because I've been on literally every spectrum of the diet game.
Which is so cool.
Like, ask this guy. I've literally been in everything. Like paleo, like I've eaten just chicken. I've eaten just seafood. I've eaten everything, like red meat, chicken, seafood, everything. I've only eaten vegetables, and then I only ate raw things, and then I've just been through, probably not all, but like a large vast of the different kinds of diets, and I've felt the effects of each one with the mentality of going in that I'm going to feel the same. Like, there's a difference, like, with the, placebo? The placebo effect. Mm-hmm. Like, if you convince yourself of something, then, like, you're most likely gonna feel it, gonna believe it. Mm-hmm. But no, I went into each diet, like, with the mentality of, like, oh, nah, I'm gonna feel the same, let's be real. Mm-hmm. So I went in with that mentality. No, every single diet had its own pros and cons and whatnot. And then obviously, like, the most beneficial was a plant-based one. Like, that's just facts. And then it was crazy, like, the whole transformation. Like, probably the biggest one, I stopped smelling. I don't smell.
Same.
My shits don't smell. My farts don't smell. My piss doesn't smell. My breath didn't smell. And like my sweat, my BO had no scent, to the point where I didn't even have to use deodorant anymore. And I was like, what? Like, what? Like, what's happening? And then I was just like, what is happening? And then like with like the chicken and like the seafood and like the red meats and stuff, like, yeah, I was packing more mass, which I'm like low key trying to do, which is pack more muscle, pack more mass on me. And like obviously, like it helped quickly put a lot of mass on my body, but I know it's not good mass. Mm-hmm. It's heavy. It's dragging me. And when I was on the plant-based diet, you can still get your protein. So don't even throw like, but where do you get your protein? Like, shut up. You can get your protein from plant-based diets. And it's lighter protein, obviously. It's lighter protein, but it still works. And it's real. And it's like, even following like the whole plant-based diet along with calisthenics, then you're literally indestructible. Because when you refrain from like, you know, like intense like weight training or whatever, and you train with your body weight, and you get that body control and that patience, because it's a longer game. Like, the point of weights is to like it's to shred your muscles, like tear them apart as quickly and a lot in a moment, so that you can rebuild it to be bigger. Like, the point of weight is to be bigger. So like when you do calisthenics, it's like it's a longer process, but there's so much that and I'm not trying to shit on weight training. Like, weight training, you do your thing, boo boo, but I'm just trying to get like the body control with calisthenics, you know. I don't want like the support of like, you know, say safety machinery or stuff like that. So when you combine like the plant-based diet with like calisthenics and like the proper amount of sleep and like all that, you are literally unstoppable, and it's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. And like, I've been sucking in like those games at the moment, but you know, I'm gonna pick it up. But like I said, there's things happening to me that I have to go on a detox. That's all. Yeah. As we come back from a China buffet today. But yeah, no.
I need fruit. Like, for real. I haven't had like enough fruit in the past 2 days. I feel it and I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it. You can feel the difference.
Ooh, yo, you said maca? Woo!
Yeah, he was like, if he's trying to, you know, do the whole lifting and shit. And I told him,
maca?
What I learned from Angel was he just stacks bananas. And then
so many bananas.
Like, hella bananas, and then maca.
Yo, maca, dude. That stuff is potent. It is strong. Oh my god. Like, I remember when I took maca, oh my god, I was off the walls. I'm not even gonna lie. I was like sluttier than I already am. Yo, maca is crazy. And yeah, nah, dose yourself with some maca.
It's wild.
It's crazy. Honestly, I was gonna like low key drug him and put maca in his food and drinks, but
except it's not a drug.
Yeah,
it's a superfood.
Yeah.
It's organic and it's great.
And I'm sure that I'm gonna like get a lot of backfire for like me talking about like this stuff, but that's okay.
It's part of the process.
It's part of the process. # trust the process.
Is maca like sublime?
What's that mean? What's sublime mean? My vocabulary is not up to par.
Sublime definition.
Oh, okay. I guess we don't. Both don't know it.
Of such excellence, grandeur, or beauty as to inspire great admiration or awe. No. Change directly into vapor when heated, typically forming a solid deposit again and cooling, elevates it. I feel like it's a... Is it a mushroom? Ginseng.
Isn't it a root?
It
Maca
says
root?
It's a Peruvian ginseng.
Isn't it a root? I thought it was a root. But yeah, stuff's great.
Yeah, it's a sort of thing. I don't know what to call it, but it's a plant, I think.
I'm pretty sure it's a root.
Or a root.
Yeah, maca root.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think you can find it in powder form.
Yeah.
Kind of like pre-workout.
Yeah, I go to Whole Foods and I either get the capsules or the powder. I switched from powder to capsules only because of like my lifestyle. I'm like always on the go, and like I can't drink the powder with like water or like by itself. That is thick and is not tasty. But I used to use powder like in my tea and stuff, and it had the powder had like a more like immediate / stronger effects, but capsules are cool too. Yeah, capsules are cool. Yeah.
So yeah, family, food.
Yeah.
We talked about mainly those two things.
Yeah.
Work.
Family, food, work. What I'm trying to do.
His podcast drops tomorrow
Oh yeah.
for the
yeah.
whole public.
It's fair warning, guys. My mentality is so different from when we did that podcast.
Yeah, I put the date on there. I was like, we did it back in April.
Yeah, which is like what, 5 months ago?
Dude, a few months time.
Dude, I changed so much.
You know what I mean? Like I was listening to it, I was like, that's not Justin anymore.
Dude, it's because it's like I don't know how people can just like it's fine. Like if you're happy, that's cool.
Yeah.
But like it's like I can't settle. Like me personally, I can't settle and I can't plateau. I can't. It's just life gets so boring. It's like that's why I have like I'm so different in short amounts of time because I'm just obsessed with growing in things that I'm interested in, and I added that I'm interested in because I know some people will be like, but you're closed-minded because you don't want to go to college. What do you mean you want to be the best version of yourself? It's things I'm interested in. But yeah, this when I think back on like the past like 4 to 5 years, oh my god.
I know, I watched it from outside. So
Yo,
I
he
watched
was
it.
literally there from like day one. He watched me become the person I am today, and like that's why I was like writing some lyrics, and then one of the lyrics I was writing, it was like, I talked about how I forget what the lyric was, but it was like my rebirth was at like age 16.
Dude, me too.
Yeah. And that was like when I came into like SFC and like expressive movement life, and then that's when like the transformation like started happening. And it's like, dude, I remember like before you guys, I didn't know how to stand up for myself for shit. Yeah, he was like my translator. Whatever I was feeling, he put into words. And like now it's like, oh my god, dude, like yo.
It's cool.
It's
really cool.
Crazy.
It's amazing.
And it's not even like with just me. It's like the whole squad is like has hit a point in their lives where it's like they're not settling. Like, yo, Tony Geronimo, stunt work, parkour. He's on the Celtics dunk team, and like Natasha and Mackenzie trying to go up to New York and like do their thing, and like, you know, Natasha's situation, like she surpassed that.
Yeah.
And like I surpassed like my breakup, and like yeah, just like everybody, my voice is cracking, like you literally dropping everything
Yeah.
to do what like you need to do. Like that's so crazy. It's like it's literally happening to everybody. It's so beautiful, and it's so beautiful because we all understand that when the universe says for us to come back into our lives, it'll happen. So we all appreciate each other's absence and presence. So it's fine. We don't have to see each other once a week, once a month, once every other month, once a year, once every 10 years. We do not care. Because when we do come back together, it's gonna be beautiful. My God. I'm so excited, bro.
Me too.
I
dropped
excited.
everything. Like,
Yeah, he literally dropped everything. Like when I say everything, it's literally everything.
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 All the stuff that I was building to change course. You could do that whenever you want. Obviously, whether you choose to have financial stability at any level, you figure that out. But yeah, you can change your mind at any time.
Yes, I still do teach at dance studios. I do. I teach at currently, I think 3.
I thought you taught at like 6 or 7.
Nah, I teach 9 classes, 3 studios. 3 classes at each studio. I haven't been paying attention to what people have been saying.
She made the joke, you are nothing. Or, no, you are nothing.
Oh my God.
That was so funny. He was dying.
Oh my God, Carla dropping the bomb to her mom about dropping out of school. And it was funny because, like, literally Carla was like, one of the things she asked was like, who's making you do this? And it's like, we didn't make her. We didn't say drop out necessarily. We just gave her options and like the pros and cons to each option. And then we were like, all right.
People never understand that.
Yeah, they're literally like, yo, they are Satan's childs. they are poisoning your mind. It's like, no, we're not. We're just telling you what's up, what's good, and then you make your own decision. Like, what? And then just like stay true to yourself too, and what you're trying to do is what we're trying to say. Like, if you're gonna make some bullshit excuse and then be like, that's why I'm gonna stay in school, we're gonna see right through it, and we're gonna be like, you ain't about it. You ain't about it.
Sorry, hold on. A message popped up. Dance instructors. That's the main hustle. I don't know. I'm typing this. So our main hustle. I'm like typing everything. So our main hustles are like most of the money comes from. So Facebook chat is here. This you don't have to pay attention. This is just the camera.
Okay.
So we're professional dance instructors. Performances. That's where money comes from mainly. And then to make extra cash, we'll do driving gigs like delivery or like Uber. And I have a Patreon, but there's a whole shebang going on with that. So, and I get booked sometimes to do workshops and stuff, either dance workshops or like soulful workshops. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
But I'd like to take all of what I'm doing now. It's all over the place. But yeah, dance is the most consistent thing keeping us
Both of us, yeah.
afloat.
And it's like, okay, it's gonna sound like I'm bragging, but like I'm not. It's just putting things in perspective. It's just like when I'm just appreciate everything. Like you guys don't understand how lucky of a timing I had with just popping into expressive movement and like strive for change. Like I literally came in at the most perfect time, and then everything just was literally given to me. Like obviously I had to like put in my 2 cents of like effort and time and energy, but everything else was just supplied to me. Like studio space, mentors, both dance and life wise. More mentors in like other styles, and being able to take classes at studios for like free and stuff like that, and just getting more and more training. And then all of this was literally just given to me, and I was like, damn. And it's like, I like to use my resources, but not college. I'm just gonna repetitively say, but not college. I like to, what up? I like to use a lot, if not all of my resources, and like to see what I've done with it from like day one to now. Mm-hmm. And it's like, again, it's gonna sound like I'm bragging, but it's like, yo, like we doing.
No, you can keep going. I'm about to answer somebody. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. We doing photo shoots. We doing video shoots. We be in video shoots. We be directing them. We be
hosting events.
We be hosting events
all the time.
All the time. We be hosting our own convention, his own convention, and like we be teaching and like everything, and like we be modeling and acting, and we be in other people's music videos, and like all this crazy things, and it's like, what are you doing? And it's like we're just getting started. That's the thing. It's like we're not trying to plateau, you know. Even if like even if we were making like huge dollar signs, like that's not what it's about. Like that's cool, and like yeah, we could utilize that money towards like self-investment, or like towards like the organizations we want to invest it in, but like as like people and artists and growers and as human beings, like we're just trying to keep climbing that ladder. But yeah.
So homeboy said that what advice would you guys give for someone who wants to dabble in different trades and build skills in a variety of fields?
Oh, that's exactly what we're doing.
Yeah, dude. So, oh God, it all starts with like self-actualization first. But I didn't come to that until recently. But what I would say is really make sure you know what you like all the time, every day. Good. Know what you like. And then try to create a plan A. You could be like, my plan A is to do all of these things. Okay? Say, I'll give you an example. You have to have the mentality of plan A will work out, and it will if you want it to, and you put in the work. Trust me. Say like, okay, he wants to be an entertainer, right? And whatever that means. But as of now, he can see that dance is in there, and music, like rap, for sure, and singing. That's it, right? For now, that you can see.
Yeah, calisthenics and like acting is going to be a huge thing with me, and stunt work and stuff like that.
Okay, so there's a lot of shit, right? Yeah. Now, when you look at your plan A, it's like, I want to do all these things. You can either have like a super solid, like, all right, I'm going to move from plan D to C to B to A. That's kind of where I'm at, kind of. Or you just invest in, there's two ways to go at it. Invest in one craft a lot until it pays, so that you have time that you get back from, like, if you have to hold a regular job. So either hold a regular job and then do stuff on the side, one thing or 5 things. I do recommend that you try to take at least one of those things very seriously and get it to a point where it pays you, so that you can take some time away from your like actual job. And then eventually maybe like both of these things become part-time. It's like, okay, now I have more time for like now I want to start doing music, so I start dabbling in that. So always just make sense of things. Like, money is a really important factor, and know what your expenses are. And if you have, like, if you're living at home and if you don't really have expenses or whatever, like, take advantage of all the things that you have. And shit, there's so many ways you could do this, because like my story is only one and his is only one.
It's crazy.
Like, fuck, like I don't know if that's helping. My friend Jeff, he went from having no physical resources and being homeless to being one of the strongest dancers ever
In the New England area.
Yeah, in the England area, and a great teacher. And so like he was able to stick himself into studios at a very young age, because he was so like committed to it. And then he started stacking money enough where he could get a car, and he continued to do that. So it's like he stuck with one thing, which is just dance. So dancing, working on his freestyle craft, working on teaching, and just doing that. But he dabbles in music and poetry and other different artistic things, but what pays him is dance. But if he ever wanted to branch off into other stuff, he could. What if you're not good at anything? Shit. Hold on, let's not go there yet.
Ooh, amen to that, Anthony.
Mm-hmm. What did Anthony say?
Do you what you no? He typed that wrong. Do what you love, and the money will follow.
Which is, I remember hearing someone bash that.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Like, because it's true if you actually love it. Because then you become sort of obsessed with how to actually like make it happen. Because some people are so casual about like, oh, like I love singing, and all they do is sing, but then they don't take the next step of like, okay, well, how do I need to brand myself? Do I got to network? Should I be dropping a track? Like that part, right?
Yeah, there's always it's a two. Like I agree with that too, but like I always say like what the fuck do I always say? Short-term memory loss. That it's the gems that are really good at what they do, but they don't know how to play their cards right. And then there's the idiots that suck at what they do, but they know how to play their cards right, and they get the fame that, I mean, I believe that they don't really deserve, but that's another topic. Yeah. But they just know how to play their cards right. So it's like, if you're really good and you know how to play your cards right, that's game over. Yeah. But yeah, no, I know what you're talking about though, Anthony. You right, but we right, but no one's right.
But I love that question, because that's always the most difficult one.
What if you're not good at anything?
No. The different one, when you like too many things and there's like a lot. Focus on the ones that are either the ones that you feel the most at that time, or just pick one and do that one more. And then what can kind of serve as the foundation for all those things is you have to learn business. If you want to be successful, there's two ways. It's you pump out really good shit, right? And you stack numbers and you build your name, and eventually someone finds you and then they turn you into something. Or you build that foundation for yourself and you have more ownership over your work. You could do both. Depends on which path. Like some people are like, I don't care what I do as long as I'm dancing. I don't care who picks me up. I don't care what audition I have to go to, or what show I'm on, or where I'm dancing, or who I'm teaching. As long as I'm dancing, I'm happy. And the others are like, well, I want to make this and do it this way, and I only want to be in this lane and do this and this and that. So it depends on your ethic and like how much work you're willing to put in.
Yeah.
You can always replace do what you love, but will follow. That's true.
Do what you love, but sex will follow. I like it.
But if you're not good at anything, then you just have to.
You have to get no.
I mean, yeah,
you just have to put in. I mean,
time.
everybody starts somewhere, you know. And I know that's very cliche to say, but it's true.
Yeah. You just
like you should have seen me when that my first dance class with you guys. Oh my god, that's a whole nother story. Moral of the story was I sucked ass.
You get good if you put in the time. It's very basic. Like if you're not good at anything. Fine, but like I don't think it's about necessarily being competent either. I know some people will argue that. It like totally depends. Like you find something that you like and that you're good at. If you have both, or find something that you like, and if it's you can make it work. I honestly think you can make it work. I'm gonna give you a super foreign, or I guess maybe something that people don't think about too much. So standards for sports. This is because some people be like, oh well, like I'm not tall enough, or I'm not this enough, I'm not that for like the NBA or the NFL. Now I'm talking like a crazy ass person, where you could still not qualify for any of those things and build your own network. That sounds ridiculous, but we've already seen it happen with the internet and how people's individual channels have been able to compete with big news channels and entertainment channels like that. And we've seen, what else? I mean, that's like the biggest one. I don't know, like streaming content, like we watch video games, and like esports is a big thing. It's bigger than sports now. It's like that network and that community of gamers have now been able to rise to a level that's so high up, where you could play games now, or and you can live, like, you know what I mean? So it's like, that wasn't possible 10 years ago. So it's like, if you're like, well, I like basketball, but I'm not tall enough, you could like basketball, do it, and build a network or create content around that. And I remember pitching that to somebody who wasn't ready for that idea. I was like, oh, you're not going to execute on it. I didn't say that, but I was just like, we'll see what you do. And then they never acted on anything. I was like, yeah, it's too ambitious. Like, you need so much, you have to put so much time. I was talking about the dance community. The dance community did that. They built their own fucking network, and now they're huge. Like, dancers only used to be like, you're a backup dancer or a choreographer for this person. When they travel, they'd be like, oh, I'm Justin Timberlake's choreographer. But now you can establish yourself as a dancer or a choreographer, and there are huge industry names that, not people, but like stages and corporations that now you can present dance on in the most authentic way that you want. And it's accepted, and you can like make money and all that kind of stuff.
Yes, Snoopy.
Darnell just said start. Dude, we talked about mad stuff, bro. We talked about family. We talked about hustle. We talked about struggles. We talked about. So we're on Twitch too. So it's nice to see you. We freaking love you. So we're talking about Twitch and Facebook, but there's more action on Twitch. Lightweight basketball, dude. Like. I don't know. Did that help? If the person's still here, like, you're still confused. If you suck at something, get good. If you like a lot of different things, zone in on less things and focus on one. That's my advice. I focused on dance until it paid me, and now I'm switching lanes. Like,
yeah.
Before we end it with Justin, because we're actually probably going to switch over to our next guest.
Any last minute questions
for this guy,
for me or him,
or the topics that we're talking about,
or the topics of what we're talking about?
But if you have more questions, just like hit me up, because I walk people through this shit. I'm only asking because I know so many people who are in college and keep changing majors and they never find what they like. Okay, so that's true. There's a lot of people. And the thing is, when you rely on an institution to help you find everything, it's not good. Like, you forget that the whole fucking world exists. Like, a college is an institution. Okay, fuck the institution. It's a business, okay? So it's a business that offers things, and it has a limited list of options that is kind of outdated, okay? So the curriculums are all outdated for the most part, unless you're a dope-ass school like SCAD. It's the only school that I stand for right now. So when people, like, they lose their logic, like, it's not all of your options are in the school, because, like, options exist outside of school. Like, the magic happens in the business, on the streets, like on the internet, like it's accessible everywhere. So to think that you can only find it by switching majors and playing in classes that are structured that have nothing to do with the actual process makes zero sense. Okay, so if you want to experiment, you take time off and you go meet people and you play in those industries. okay? People are like, well, honey, you can't just be a nurse. Like, you can't. But I promise you, if you really do your research and you know people and you network and you take the time to really try and get your in, which no one is taught, like there's a set of rules and structure that's in play that most people follow, and then there's everyone else who kind of like does this and then finds their shot, right? So it's, if someone was like, okay, this is different, this is a different field, right? Music. There is no set of rules or instruction to be signed to Def Jam. There are none, right? So, but if you make it a goal, and you start playing in that industry and you figure stuff out and you start talking to people, maybe you interact with the artists, or you follow the art, like, okay, like this person from Def Jam has all these things, this person has all, okay, like maybe I should start like whatever. So people don't, there's more outside of like your major. So sometimes heavily relying on your major to see what you like doesn't make any sense. Shadowing someone, doing volunteering and being a fucking slave is a thing too. Like, yo, like I'm not in school and I know I can't intern or whatever, but like I wanna learn. Like I'll get you guys coffee every morning, or like people don't think that way. Like that's not a rule that's in place. But the thing is that people forget that, like, yeah, corporations and businesses, and like resumes and dressing nice, whatever, that's all rules and shit, right? But then there's conviction and personality and people and penetration and human beings. Like everyone behind all that stuff is just another human being, and all you have to do is know how to tap into that place. And if you could do that, that's all that matters. So like when we took him in, right, being in the place that we were in, an artistic field, sure, but we were like, well, I was like, I'm gonna give it a shot, right? But then it definitely was experimental, but I gave as much as he was willing to take, and then he found his way in. Whereas some people don't even know where to start, or they think that a resume is the only way, when it's not. You just have to know people. And then when you think about when you're in a job, when someone's like, okay, we're hiring new people, they usually say, do y'all know anyone who's looking for a job? They don't say like, I'm gonna go look at this stack of resumes that we got from all these random ass people, because being on the inside is an important thing. So then what's important? Your social skills and networking. Okay, so like that stuff, and being likable, and all these personal traits that need to exist in you, in order for you to have an edge, that should be in play, and that'll help you get what you need and what you want faster, and will now expand your mind beyond a major, and just gives you like, all right, well, let me see if I can get it. Like, I think I'll like Google. Like, let me see if I can figure this out. And then you do that. Same thing. Someone said something about school once, and I forgot who. I think it was Scooter.
You are nothing.
It's just so funny. Two people. It was only one person I met in real life that actually looked at school the right way. But I remember someone saying, like, someone asked a very fundamental question, like, why do we go to school? And then most people go to school because they want to get a degree to get a good job. It's like, you're supposed to go to school to learn. Like, that's what you're supposed to go to school for. And people forget that, right? It doesn't guarantee, like, it doesn't actually guarantee you anything. And so people go to school for the wrong reasons. And I remember asking a friend, I was like, oh, like, what's your major? And she's like, oh, I'm going for this. But, like, that's not necessarily what I'm going to do as a career. I'm just going for the experience, and this is fun. And I was like, that's cool. That's dope. So, and some people, like older people, will just go to school to learn. I'm like, oh, that's good. That's what you're supposed to do. You know what I mean? And I understand that majors are requirements, or degrees are requirements for certain fields, so that's understandable. But like that paradigm got all fucked up, and so, yeah. Did you say start over more than once?
Twice.
I think you left though. So, if you don't know what you're doing, take a break. Oh, and the other answer is that if you just introspect, I remember that word because I was listening to our podcast, and you were like, introspect. Because you like, I learned that word today because I used it.
Introspect.
Yeah, you usually find it when you just get real quiet and you tell all the voices in your head to shut the fuck up and everyone else to shut up, and then it'll come to you. And then that unrealistic dream will be like, that's the one, right there. It's right there. That's how easy it is. So, and it's funny because like, and I'm just kind of going off. When I ask people, like, oh, like, you know, what are you doing or what are you going for, whatever. And then it takes, like, they tell me and I'm like, oh, cool. It sounds like you think that that's what you want to do. And then I go 5-10 minutes into it and the real thing comes out and I'm like, when was that? Like, that's the real thing, right? Yeah, that's what you want to do. Like, why are you bullshitting yourself? What the fuck is wrong with you? Oh, who was it? It was one of the girls I was talking to the other day. Yeah, she just knows what she wants to do. She's confused. She's a senior, and then, but she loves dance. And I was like, there you go. And you're talented. You're very skilled. You have the heart for it, and you work your ass off. Why don't you just do that? Because the system tells you you can't. But whatever. Just people are scared. But yeah. Oh, it's Joanne. Hello.
Joanne?
Yeah,
I love Joanne. Joanne, I love you.
Yeah, I love Joanne. Joanne has goals, bro. I was talking to her the other day. I was like, vibes. Monica said that was beautiful. It's true. Taking time off is one of the smartest things you could do.
Isn't he beautiful? Honestly, I'd marry you.
Hey, Joanne, did you go to business school? I mean, did you major in business or minor in business? I don't think I ever asked you about your education. I know Jess didn't. She's balling.
Who, Joanna, Jess?
Well, I mean, feel the vibes, baby. She's so funny. I mean, they're all like, it's their livelihood. I mean, that's good, you know.
Mm.
She didn't go to school.
Nope, Joanne did not go to school. There you have it, folks.
There it is.
Joanne did not go to school, but she has a great ass dance studio, and probably one of the strongest I've ever seen in hip hop in this area. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
And she has great kids. The vibes are amazing. The ethics and all that stuff is really amazing.
Yeah.
It's like, that's what I mean. It's like,
I like visiting sometimes.
it's a good spot. Went for physical therapy. How'd that go?
Can you fix me? Just kidding. All I need to do is detox.
Well, Joanne has tips. She has lots of skill.
Hey.
And she's well versed. And she makes a bomb salad.
I did 2 years of college.
But for health sciences. Nothing to do with owning a business.
Nothing to do.
Or dance.
But she did it.
Yeah, but
she made it happen.
you know, like, and then you just connect with people who are older and more established, and you learn their story, and you ask them, and it's like, wow, you did it this way? Yeah, you know. But I don't know if not everyone's built to like run their own stuff. If you're not that person, then I mean, unless you want to try and you never know, you can go for it. Not a thing.
I forgot what Moses is majoring in, to be honest. It's something business, I know that.
I still think majoring in business is silly.
Yeah.
That's super. The information for business is so accessible.
Super accessible.
It's so accessible.
Just need
It just doesn't make sense.
to look it up and dive into that rabbit hole.
Yeah, you can learn so much.
Hashtag Gary V.
Mm-hmm.
Hashtag Scooter Braun. Yo,
Dude,
their duo. Oh my god.
that
The
blew
world
my
is
mind.
not ready.
It's like Scooter and Gary. I was like,
Scooter and Gary, the world is not ready for that duo.
so for y'all that don't know, Scooter Braun manages the top most popular artists in the world, like Justin Bieber, Ariana Grande, Tori Kelly, CL, I think Psy, Usher, right? And his story is dope too. He just hustled his way into his path, and he like put it all on the table, all that stuff. He's amazing. And then Gary, purebred entrepreneur, built a business, and then he just does everything, and both of them, he's like the best entrepreneur in terms of, I don't know, he's just doing it right. But people call him your favorite entrepreneur's favorite entrepreneur. So like those two as a duo is ridiculous, bro. I'm gonna go pee now.
Yeah. All right.
And then we can,
Yeah.
Can I steal your chair? Can I sit there with Justin now? Can we kick you out?
I mean, we could switch. And then I'll just leave when he comes back.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
Hi y'all. I don't know who's on. I don't know who's
Oh,
watching.
man.
Hi Justin.
Hello, Nalin. How are you feeling tonight? I was thinking about wearing that shirt tonight. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, we would have been twins.
Yeah, almost. Maybe next time. Hey, Nalin. Anthony says Nalin caps lock, and Carla's like Nalin caps lock.
I'm reading these. I'm new to this. I have no idea.
So this is Twitch,
okay. I see.
Facebook.
All right.
Yeah.
I see it.
But yeah, no, these talks are fun. I'm probably gonna do more. But yeah, who is Soda Good? Like, what is your identity, Soda Good?
That sounds familiar. I feel like I know, or I should know who that is.
Soda Good. All right. Well, I'm gonna switch out.
Say bye to Justin.
Goodbye. Probably gonna do this more. Ugh. Ugh.
Nalin.
How many of y'all spelled my name right? That's the real question.